We have breaking news.
Ooh.
The Washington Commanders are officially sold. Wow. It does appear.
Wow.
Dan Snyder has reached an agreement in principle to sell the Commanders for $6 billion.
Damn.
Billy to a group led by Philadelphia 76ers co-owner Josh Harris. Harris's group includes billionaire Mitchell Rales, I think of Pittsburgh, and former NBA star Magic Johnson, who was on the Today Show a couple weeks ago saying, Dan, come on, please bless us with an opportunity.
Dan blessed them.
Normally, Dan certainly did. And normally when Dan's being talked about on any show, everybody's saying, Dan Snyder is a fucking rat. Okay? That's what everybody else is saying.
Right.
Not me.
You're not saying it.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying normally. So whenever he got a chance to see Magic Johnson on one of the biggest morning shows saying, Mr. Dan Snyder is a good man and hopefully he'll bless us. I wonder if that was a little bit of gamesmanship from Magic to kind of get this deal over the finish line. Because allegedly Bezos was going to be in, Bezos wasn't going to be in, Bezos was allowed to be in if he wanted to be in, and then Bezos was officially out. We wondered if Dan Snyder, just out of spite, was going to hold on to this thing because everybody kind of wants him to sell. Instead, Magic, Josh, and Mitchell Rales, I assume among others, are able to get into the Commanders game. $6 billion for the team. They're going to have to build a new stadium. Are they going to change the name? We don't know. But congrats to all parties, including the Commanders fans.
Yeah.
New money in the NFL is good for the league. Tone, your initial thoughts?
No, yeah, the last thing you just said there was probably the people who are just most ecstatic is the Commanders fans, because they have dealt with potentially one of the worst owners of all time for a long time.
There's been numerous conversations where we thought Dan Snyder was either going to be forced out of the NFL or he was going to sell the NFL to make his life less hectic. Remember, this man has been scrutinized by every single human that has ever had a microphone in front of him because of the way he operated and did his business. Just a couple weeks ago, there was an article written about how much money he is going to make from when he bought the Commanders to when he's going to sell it, all the while being one of the worst business people of all time. He is never talked about in a positive light, so we thought there was a chance that if he was offered multiple billions of dollars, he'd say, you know what, I want to make my life easier. I don't want to deal with the bullshit anymore. I'll just ride around on my goddamn yacht, park it in Napoleon's Island, and this will be my life now. That's just what I do. But there was also a thought that Dan Snyder doesn't do that. Dan Snyder loves being in the fucking fire. Dan Snyder stands in the paint and tries to foul people as they're going for dunks just so he can get dunked on yet again. That is what Dan Snyder does. He's officially out of the NFL. Good news. And congrats, I guess, to the Snyders for getting $6 billion for a team that, if you read all the exposés, was run relatively poorly and hasn't had success in a long time. But the fan base is massive.
Yeah, and Josh, Mitch, and Magic now immediately become babyface. Like, for them, they get to come in, there's a report card that they can actually look at and be like, okay, this is what our players need. This is the stuff that they've been lacking over the last, I don't know how many years. And they can basically change what we think about when we think Washington, which is the poop pipes and the bad football team, and Dan Snyder being the worst owner in the NFL.
Poop pipes were the ones that were bursting in the stadium multiple times throughout a season because the stadium hadn't been updated in so long. People were sitting there watching this abysmal Commanders team that had numerous exposés written about it on a very, very, very public newspaper, and these people are still fans of the team. They're saying, damn it, you guys aren't making it easy for us to be fans of your brand. They pay tickets. Hey, we're through thick and thin. They go watch a game. As they're watching their team get beat, a poop pipe right above them bursts and toilet water dumps on their head.
Drenched in poop.
That was happening at the stadium.
Happened in a suite.
Couple different times.
Yeah.
I don't know, the banister falling, almost killing Jalen Hurts.
That's right.
You'll be a power move.
What's that?
These new owners come in, they just $6 billion for the team. They're going to have to build a new stadium. Power move to come in and be like, hey, let's go get fucking Lamar Jackson right now.
Why not? Make a splash. Build a franchise. Change it all. What's your face going to be around here? We got the most exciting quarterback on earth. Is this quarterback-led league? Yep. We got a guy who's just nobody else can. Not a bad play. Pac-Man, how do you feel about that thought?
Not a bad play. I like that idea. New ownership, new everything. And Magic Johnson coming in, he won championship everywhere he done.
Love star players.
The Dodgers won championship. The Lakers, the women's
LA Sparks,
Michigan State,
LAFC,
everything he's did has been big, even to TJR Fridays, to Burger King.
Hell yeah.
Magic got the answer to everything. So I'm excited to see how the Commanders do up under new ownership.
And to expound upon that point and what Tone was saying, Lamar, here we go.
Yeah.
Lamar.
This is business.
He doesn't have to
Bingo.
move his house.
Here it is. This is business.
Close to where he is.
You know what I mean? Hey, I see what you guys did. I respect it. I earn it. I think I would be a very welcomed addition to your city, to your team. I would love to help this next chapter, this next era, build not only on the fan base that you already have, but a brand new one that's coming. If I come here, I think it's good business. I think it's good everything. Why don't we do that? I could be right now. The face is Ron Rivera. No offense, Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Hasn't had success in a long time.
No.
But good guy. We love Ron Rivera.
Right.
There's no way you can have success in that building. There's not a shot at Ron Rivera. But he's the only thing you really think of. Whenever you think of the Commanders, it's like you put somebody like Lamar on that team. Lamar's now the face.
Their defense is good.
And you have something to build around.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin's still there. Running back's still there.
Brian Robinson.
You got,
But you bring in Lamar, that's a whole different team now.
yeah, it's all around Lamar.
Yeah.
And the defense, you just, hey, fuck.
The defense is good.
Keep
Yeah.
the defense doing what they're doing.
Real
Yeah, the
good.
D-line.
Well, and that's what
That would be a brilliant play, new money coming into the NFL. And also that goes to our point about these guaranteed contracts with these new owners, like the Walton family. They have like 37 billion or something. I forget what.
30. I think it's 37 more than Tepper. They're the richest by a lot.
Allegedly, in principle, a deal has been made by Josh Harris, Mitchell Rales, and Magic Johnson, amongst others, to purchase the Washington Commanders from Dan Snyder for $6 billion. Now, they have to build a brand new stadium. Jeff Bezos was potentially going to be in this. He was told he was allowed to be in this before it was even announced that it was going to be for sale. Dan Snyder learned that Jeff Bezos is not actually the editor of the Washington Post. He just happens to own the Washington Post. So Dan Snyder put his swords aside and said, I'll take billions of dollars from you, I guess. Allegedly, that's how it all went. So we didn't know if this was ever going to get sold. Magic Johnson was on TV a week ago saying, if Dan Snyder blesses us, you're the man. That's the first time anybody on TV has ever said something nice about Dan Snyder in recent history, I do believe. How did this come about, and what are your sources telling you about the deal and what this looks like for the Washington football team going forward?
Okay, so what I know about this situation, I do not believe a deal has been agreed to. The way this would work is Dan Snyder would tell the league, this is my choice. Review this bid for, it's actually just under $6 billion. So from my understanding, not quite six, just under there.
5.9, 5.95, 5.99. Like whenever you go to a store and it's like, this is $13.99. So they say it's under $14. You can get this whole thing. Is it like one of those? So that Magic,
not quite. A little less, but we'll see my understanding is the final number has not been agreed to, so that's why a deal is not done.
That's what the deal is.
So the report is not wrong. It just seems to be premature because I do believe, from what I know, from what sources are telling me, that Josh Harris eventually will be the owner of the Commanders, assuming this deal is completed. I am told they are nearing a deal. It would have to be approved by the league. Snyder would have to submit it, and they would have to actually reach an agreement, which hasn't happened. But it seems he is going to be the guy when it all does happen. And obviously, this is the Sixers and the Devils owner.
Well, congrats to the NFL getting new money in there.
Yeah.
And I assume everybody's pumped that Dan Snyder's out of there. We never thought he was going to leave, and here we are. New owner, new stadium, maybe new team name. Go ahead, AJ.
Ian, how quickly after this deal gets done do they break ground on a new stadium there?
I mean, that's going to be so by the team. It has to be approved. I think I'm not 1,000% sure, but it seems like the May meeting would be a good. I think there's going to be enough time between now and the May meeting to finalize this, which is in Minnesota, which in the spring is going to be lovely, which I'm sure I will be there for that, to welcome in the new owner and maybe have a drink or two. We'll see.
You got to start working. Oh, new friends, sources.
What's up, Magic?
Is that what we're talking about?
I love friends. I welcome all friends. If they happen to have information, that's awesome too, but mostly just friends. The stadium is going to be picking the stadium spot is going to be the first thing, right? Because I know there's been a lot of push for a, stadium in DC. That is obviously a political question as much as it is a find the land, have the money to pay question. Obviously, this is something that is going to be
Everything's a political question, right? That's a very condensed area. There's a lot of people sitting on top of each other over there. So there's going to be a lot of politicians who have to be what? Anti-NFL too, right? There's some people that feel that way. And about the money and public funding, is that going to happen? Will the owners spend all the money? I mean, there's always a big-time fight with that, right?
Right. Or were they anti-NFL or were they just anti-Dan Snyder? Like, I don't know that.
That's not the only place that this happens, though. Like, everywhere.
No, of course.
There's new stadium problems. Like, that is not like an easy feat, I don't think, to get it passed in there to do it anywhere, especially in what? The most political area of all time.
Yeah.
Of all the worlds. The most political area
Ever.
Is that's going to be
Literally
that's
ever.
That's not just like an easy task, right? That's going to be a difficult thing, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really difficult. But I also think that, basically to get this done, to purchase the Commanders, which I believe Josh Harris will do at some point eventually.
For the price of
for the
price of
just under 6B.
Just under
6B.
five
Just under 6.
595.
This is like when people ask me my real height. It's like 5'8", 5'9". Yeah,
If
5'9".
this was the price, this is the Price is Right. What would your bid be?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. If Bob Barker said, "Look at this,"
Ian Rappaport,
and
come on down.
the Washington Commanders, and you had to give the closest but not over, or hit it right on the thing so a bell goes off.
Yeah, you win the prize.
And everybody's so impressed. Maybe you win. What would you write down there? Because it would go from me. I go, $6 billion. And everybody, okay, yeah. Somebody
No, the $1 guy is the best.
Yeah, that's at the end though. $1 guy can't go anywhere near but the end. You only get one shot at the $1 thing.
Yeah.
Because then if you do $1 too early, guess who's coming?
Boom.
$2 person.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're dead. You're dead. There's no way that Washington Commanders football team's worth $1.
No.
You fucking idiot.
Come on. Come on.
Nobody's that. So for you, if you had to do that, you would say 5-8.
I will wait until the final number is. It's around
Don't be
there.
a chicken shit.
Have some fun.